What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. My name is Paul Virzi, and you guys listening to episode, what is this? 557. How the hell is everybody? Sorry, it's been a while since I've been back in my little headquarters here, my little office. I hope everybody's doing well. There's the camera. See, I'm even looking in the wrong place. That's how long it's been. Next week, I will be in studio with another special guest, somebody that you guys love when I'm with. So tune into that. But I want to thank everybody who's been listening and leaving comments and enjoying the Virzi Effect podcast. I enjoy doing it for you. Please check out the Virzi Effect podcast everywhere you get your podcasts, iTunes and Spotify and all that good stuff. Also, you could check out my other podcast that I co-host with Bill Burr called Anything Better. You could check out our BetMGM picks, all that stuff. And thank everybody who's actually been looking and subscribing to my YouTube channel, which we really started and kind of revamped during pandemic. So thank you guys all for that. And see, now I know why this has been muted sometimes. If you notice, sometimes I go like this and I fuck with the little things on the side here. And one time my hand hit the mute button and it muted and it went out after 7 minutes. So I'm going to try to make sure that that does not happen today. So anyway, that being said, thank you all for being here. This is 557. Like I said, I think we're going to go back and renumber stuff from when I started doing it visually. But that's not your problem. That's my problem. A lot of cool stuff to talk about today. But before I get started, I really, really want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody who came out to the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Okay. I got added on to the New Brunswick show pretty late in the game. They reached out. We only had 2 weeks to promote. So there's still people in Jersey that didn't know I was there, but it was really cool. Normally you get a date and, it's months out and you tell people and you promote and you do all that stuff. The Stress Factory in New Brunswick was like, hey man, do you want to just come in and do it on this week? It was my birthday weekend. My birthday was the 11th, which is a Veterans Day always, which is amazing. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's get some work done. Let's work the new hour. Let's tell some jokes. Let's tell some stories. Let's have a good time. And, a lot of people showed up, man. A lot of people saw my stuff on YouTube. A lot of people saw my clips. And I got to be honest, it was really, really cool to see lines of people out there to see me. And, I want to meet and talk to the fans and greet the fans and all that. I don't know why the light's changing. I don't know what's going on with this light. I don't know if it's dying. I mean, it should be plugged in. Sorry about that. But anyway, so thank you all who came out to New Brunswick, New Jersey, to the Stress Factory. Old fans, diehards, and new, thank you very much. If you brought friends, if you brought family to come and see me do my thing, I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to the dude who opened for me, Vishnu Vaka, such a funny dude from Jersey. And we had a great time. So shout out to the Stress Factory in New Brunswick. Thank you guys so much. And as you guys know, I have a big tour coming up. We'll get into the tour towards the end. Let's get into the show. A lot's gone on since I've talked to you guys alone. I feel like I need to, oh, that's what happened. This thing went out. That's what happened. So it wasn't this. Jeez, guys. What's going on here? All right. There we go. So maybe the battery's dying and it's going to just die. I don't know. A lot of stuff to talk about. The reason why I'm doing this a little late, only like a day late, is because on Tuesday, your boy Paulie got not one implant, but 2 implants. Okay, so I had issue. Long story short, I had an issue with a tooth back here and an issue with a tooth over here. Long time ago. Okay. One of the teeth got infected. It was brutal. It had to come out. Okay. Anyway, so I had dude, and I don't know if anybody, if you're not into dentist shit and if you're not kind of into drilling and blood, and if this shit freaks you out, you might want to fast forward. But I'm going to be honest with you, thinking about it gets me freaked out because I don't, the only reason why I'm doing that is because I'm remembering a taste in my mouth. Okay. Probably not the way I wanted to start this podcast. I hope you're not eating, but this is some dental shit that I find funny, but it's also really vulnerable and weird. So they're like, yeah, you're going to get 2 implants. Okay. You're going to get 2 teeth put in your mouth. One's going to be on this side, one's going to be on this side. And I'm like, well, can we do it the same day? And they were like, sure, it's a lot, but we can. And what they do is they drill through the gums into the bone. They put a screw in there. Then it has to heal for 3 months. And then they mold a tooth that'll fit right in there. And then they screw that tooth in, and it's a permanent tooth that's there. So they numb me up big here. Now, I come to find out at the end of it, they go, listen, in your recovery, if you stay numb for days, let us know. And I'm like, well, fucking yeah. I'm not going to stay numb for days and be like, yeah, no, everything's fine. No, I'll be like, no, dude, you guys fucking did something. Apparently there's a nerve down there that I guess once in 20 years, they said somebody stayed numb for 4 months, which would freak me out. And then apparently there's a nerve that if you sever the nerve forever, you feel like you have Novocaine for life. That to me seems like a nightmare. That to me seems like an absolute nightmare, to feel like you had Novocaine here and you can't feel your lips and your face for life. That's a whole other thing. So, of course, you guys know me with medical shit. I'm going, oh, dude, I can't. After like an hour and a half, I'm going, is this still normal? I'm like fucking, stabbing my own lip just to see if I get any sense of feeling. And I remember this one, I felt nothing. And then this one, I felt something. And then they put more Novocaine. So this side lasted longer. And I freaked out because I'm going, oh, shit, they severed a nerve on this side. I'm not going to be able to eat. It was fucked up. Anyway, I have feeling back. That's fine. Okay, I'm just really, really sore. But I decided to double it up. So they drill through the gum and you could kind of taste and feel blood and shit just getting ripped apart in there. That's what sucked. And that's why I made that, because I taste it now, which is fucking horrible. Then they put the screw in. Everything is okay. Then they stitch me up. So I literally right now, you probably can't tell. Right here is a little puffier than normal. Okay. Here, not as much, but here it's sore. There are stitches in both that are coming off in like 2 weeks, the stitches. And I'm just dealing with this shit. I'm going to do some shows. I have a couple more shows through the holidays, but not many. And then I'm going to chill out through December and get ready for my big tour. But there's something about laying in the dentist with your mouth open like that and like multiple things happening and blood. It was just a really I've talked about this before, so I don't want to sound like a broken record. There's nothing more vulnerable than being at the dentist as an adult with your mouth just opened and somebody else just going like this in your mouth, pulling shit, doing this, drilling. Then they fucked with me. Then they actually said, which was funny, I get there and the dental assistant, whatever, the dental hygienist, whatever, whoever is there sucking the that shit where they suck up the saliva if your mouth gets watery. That lady's a sweetheart. And I walk in and she goes, I saw your Netflix special. She was really funny. And she goes, I joked with the doctor and I told the doctor that you were making fun of us. And he said, oh, well, I'm going to hurt him today. So I just did that like, hope you're joking. So he comes in and he goes, I heard you were talking about us. He goes, I'm going to hurt you today. And I'm like, no. Really cool, dude. Really fun. Like, I can't say fun experience, but as good and quick as it could be. But I'm not at the age. This is one thing that sucks. I'm at the age now where I guess you could say I'm at the age now where my recovery is not like, I still recover, I would say quick and on time, but I used to recover like quicker than any doctor thought. Like I had major surgery once on my abdomen when I was like 20 years ago. They It was a whole brutal story. I didn't know. I think I told the story, but I didn't know what was there. They found something. They didn't know if it was my appendix. I had like emergency surgery. They took this thing out. I had an infection. It was just nuts and it was brutal. But like they were like, you're going to not be able to walk or get out of bed for like a long, long time. And like hours later, I was like walking through the I almost said hotel, hospital lobby. So now it's like when they say, I'm at the point now in my life where I'm at the recovery time, maybe a little quicker, but like I kind of got to wait to what the doctor says, where I felt like my body used to be like, nah, man, you know what the fuck you're dealing with? You know who you're dealing with? What'd you say? You gave that guy 4 weeks? Yeah, give me like 14, less than 14, 10 days. I'll take 10 days to his 4 weeks. That was what, now that's not the case anymore. It's kind of bugging. But my eyesight's still good. My eyesight is like maybe still 20/20. My left eye has astigmatism. Guys, what I'm saying is getting older sucks. If you're listening to this and you're in your mid-20s to late 20s, you're good for another 5-6 years. But other than that, I feel good, you know. Other than that, you know, my left eye has astigmatism in it. What are you going to do? Got to replace a couple of teeth. Okay. I'll take it. You know, new car sometimes needs new tires. You get a new timing belt and some new tires, and guess what? Everything's good. You know, a couple, you know, new brake pads, new tires. The thing is coasting down the highway. That's what else there's nothing really else that you could worry about. Now, I have a political, I know you listen to the show and I don't go political. I haven't posted anything political on social media. Now let me backtrack here a second. Okay. Let me change what I'm saying. It's a non-political stance, but it is about politics. Okay. So I'm not taking any political stances here because I'm not going to win you over. You're not going to like me more or less, or maybe some will like me more, some will like me less. I'm not stupid enough to do that. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what I think about that, but I have a political unacceptable this week. And here's what it is. With all of this stuff going on, and it goes to what my special said. I said in my special very clearly, I don't think you should be past 65 to be president. I think your age gap to be the president of the United States of America should be between 35 and 65 years old. Between 35 and 65 years old, you have 30 years. You pretty much should be in good shape if you took care of yourself. And if you're in politics, I'm sure you did. Okay. You're pretty much, your mind is sound at that time. You know, I remember I spoke to a neurologist, and when he would take pictures of the brain, he said certain things in the brain, lobes in the brain, change in your 70s. Okay. You don't think the same. And we all could see that with the president. That's not a political stance. The president of the United States is fucking in a really, really bad way. And I'll be honest with you, as an American, it's hard to watch it. It really is. Now, my unacceptable for the week is I have no problem with people making fun of, I'm a comedian. I have no problem with people making fun of, I guess you can say, people that are cognitively not fully there in politics. And I'm seeing a lot of people, okay, talking shit about this one, and talking shit about this Fetterman guy who had a stroke, and talking shit about Herschel Walker, who says some wild shit. And look, I got no problem with that. If you're going to make fun of Herschel Walker for saying weird shit and kind of sounding like he's out there and not really this, and people make fun of the amount of football he played, the amount of concussions he had, fine. I'm going to give you that 100%. But it's just funny to me how those people don't make fun of Biden or this guy Fetterman. Do you know what I mean? It's like don't sit here and post political shit about one side being cognitively fucked up, but then not doing that about the other side. Let's admit, how about in all of politics? Because it's unacceptable one way or the other. You can't sit here, make fun of Herschel Walker, and then have a guy that had a fucking stroke who can't put things into sentences, who comes out of a debate and goes, when he gets introduced, he goes, "Good night, everybody. Take care." What? You can't do that. The guy had a fucking brain bleed and he won a state. It's like the craziest thing. So don't post shit about Herschel Walker being fucked up, but then you don't make fun of this dude. You got to be fair. And none of them, it seems, are like, how are you going to make fun of Herschel Walker and not make fun of the fact that Joe Biden says the craziest shit and forgets shit and pauses for 10 seconds? So that's what I'm saying. So my thing is, my unacceptable is during election season, just be fair. And I know that that's a lot to ask. And I know people are probably saying, well, Paul, of course it's not going to be fair. You know, it's people are trying to win and it's election season, but I just don't like this whole, like, Herschel Walker said this or that, ha, 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 ha. And it's like, but you voted for Joe Biden. Like, so you're absolutely right about the Herschel Walker thing. That's funny. Oh, he had so many concussions. I'm sure there's a lot of funny memes about Herschel Walker. There's a lot of funny ones, you know, but you can't do that shit and then act like voting or Joe Biden, what's happening with Joe Biden is okay. And here's the other question I'll say. Okay, fine. The Herschel Walker thing, you make fun of Herschel Walker. Great. That's fine. And it is funny. When Herschel Walker started talking about zombies and vampires and shit, I was like, oh, this guy's fucking, I don't know what this guy's doing. Okay. 100% right. But you can't do that and then go and vote for Joe Biden again. That in my, like, or, you know, and think, you know, unless you're saying it's funny what Herschel Walker's doing and go vote for him. But I don't see people doing that. So I guess I'm beating a dead horse here because you're never going to change anybody's mind. And we are in such a divided country. But I think that is where the problem lies, guys. I truly believe that. And again, this isn't a political thing. I voted for Eli Manning. Shout out to Eli or there, right? This, you guys know, this is who I voted for. He's on my desk at all times. 2-time champ, Eli Manning. Okay. This is who I voted for. Eli Manning. All right. Get at me, Eli. Come on, man. So not political, but I think when people can differentiate like that, or at least look at the hypocrisy, then things are going to come together again. Because people forget something. And I'm not trying to be Mr. Positive Optimistic, but people forget something. Think of the craziest person you know politically. Okay, craziest. It could be somebody on the far left, somebody on the far right. But the person that just says stuff that makes no sense, they're stuck in their ways, they're crazy, they don't want to hear you. They'll deny Biden has dementia. They'll deny, you know, something on the right. They'll deny that Donald Trump is petty and fights things he shouldn't need to fight and can't help himself opening his mouth. They'll fight that. They'll fight that Biden's got dementia. They'll do all that stuff. Think of all of those people that you know in your life and understand that you're living in a house with them. The United States of America, man, all these people are your roommates. You might not be close to them. Your room may not be close to them. Okay. They could be all the way in another state, which in this fucking scenario is the hallway that's in fucking Virginia. But these are people that you'll see at the store, in restaurants, and we're all together. And if people can just have a conversation, man, and I don't see it getting better anytime soon. It's really sad. But when I see these like smear campaigns and these like, he lied about his daughter's softball game to get a prostitute, you know, an abortion. This message is approved. And you're going like, what? And then the other guy the guy who said all this horrible shit is just standing in front of a fence with his family. And it's all this other stuff. But if you really watch the hypocrisy of this shit, if you really listen to what people are saying, you know, and I'm just watching this and I'm listening to all the jokes this week about Herschel Walker and some of the jokes about Fetterman. They're less because, you know, he's a more liberal guy or whatever. But like, dude, you can't do that and have a conversation with me about how Joe Biden is not fucked up. That's all I'm saying. Does that make sense? And I would say that if the tables were turned the other way too. It's like if Joe Biden was a Republican and Herschel Walker was not. I'm just saying, like, you can't. How about this? How about we get people with no strokes? And how about we get people with no dementia? And how about we get people with no football background with concussions and fucking talking about fucking vampires? How about we do that? Can we do that? Can we once? Do you want to know why Obama won? Do you want to know why Bill Clinton won? Even in a way, you could say George W. Bush. Part of it is able to talk, able to walk and look around and kind of articulate things in a certain way. I know with W. Bush, his accent and all that stuff and the Texas thing, but like Obama came out, spoke reasonably, talked normally, had the suit, looked good, waved to people, did this and that. Just you looked like you could have a beer and talk football with the guy, whether you like this politics or not. That has to mean something. When I see the president today, I'm like, this guy probably has shit in his pants. There's probably a 58% chance that Joe Biden has shit in his underwear. At all times. Because you can't tell me that Joe Biden, as president of the United States, hasn't tried to fart. And when he tried to fart, he diarrheaed on himself. I will guarantee you. Okay, I know people in their 20s that do that shit. This guy cannot form a sentence. He walks like my grandfather did when he was in the VA hospital. So it's like, these are people that are going to lead our country. I just don't understand how there is not a bill passed. There is not something. Change the fucking rules. 35 to 65. All right, that's it. 30. Guess what? I'm sorry. You have great plans for the country and you had a fucking stroke, which is a brain bleed. If your brain is bleeding, let's hold off on this election and we'll get you better. And if you come back and the doctors say it's fine, how about that? You're an ex-football player that fucking, as soon as I see a guy go up there and go, man, I was watching this movie about vampires. It's crazy, man, how they come out at night. And you're just like, dude, what? I'm trying to vote for you for the state of Georgia. And you're going up here and you're talking about fucking zombies and shit. What are we talking about here? I mean, we got one guy had a stroke. Think about what's going on in the country. Got one guy who had a fucking stroke. Guy couldn't form a sentence. He's standing there. And by the way, that guy's got to chill out wearing Carhartt fucking. I mean, that guy looks like they don't even want him seen at the bowling alley that he's the maintenance man of. That's what that guy looks like. All right. Then you got Herschel Walker, who every time he like you root for. Here's the thing, dude, you root for guys to get the sentence out. That's what it's come to. I'm rooting for the president of the United States of America, the president of the free world, to just not forget and say something without having to think, without not making sense. Herschel Walker, you just look at him and go, come on, man, get it out. It's like, that's where we're at right now. The last time that was when somebody in your family, the last time I had to deal with that was when somebody in my family was clearly old or had an issue and they're talking and you're like, oh, I just hope this goes good. You can't have that with the leaders of the country. So my unacceptable for the week is don't fucking, I was just going to mess up two. I love how I'm talking about this and I was just going to mess up two sayings. I was like, that's calling the kettle black. Don't throw stones at a glass house. I mean, I was just going to, the ironic part is while I'm talking shit, I just had two different sayings that I was, going to completely mess up in this analogy. But you guys know what I'm saying. I mean, the fact that these are our choices. How about a 36-year-old, 37-year-old? I've said that on stage. A 36-year-old, hair slicked back, tuxedo, just gets out of a Lamborghini, walks up to the thing, just starts pointing at people like Peyton Manning did at the the line of scrimmage when he was calling audibles. Just guys, what's up, man? So everybody, no, this Ukraine thing is good, man. So I got you. I got this. Don't worry about it. Everybody go have a good dinner. Everybody, hope everybody has has a good Christmas. God bless. You know, maybe he takes out a wad of cash. He just starts throwing 20s and hundreds at everybody. Then he says, God bless. Somebody opens the Lamborghini door. He gets in. He goes off like Batman. Everybody feels secure and safe. Just one time. Just one time, a 007 looking dude. Just one time. I mean, I just can't even believe this. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe that these are the choices of the United States of America. But the funniest part is people are fighting about it. Nobody should fight. Left, right. Next time you see somebody on the left or right fighting for one of these guys, just go, hey, man, could we both admit that we're both kind of have shitty, like we're all fucked up? And then just laugh and have a beer and go, yeah, I hope it gets better. But is that going to happen? No. Is wishful thinking? Yes, it is wishful thinking. But I never thought a problem in our country. I always thought that there will be problems in our country. This is the last thing I'll say about this. I always thought, and there's always going to be problems in our country with people having, left-sided views and right-sided views. There's always going to be that. Whether people have issues with gun control or abortion or immigration or taxes, and all of those things are normal. And I always knew that we would have those things, but I never knew that a problem that we would have with our leaders that are elected leaders that we, the people, vote for. I never thought in my life that it would be like a mental, like a cognitive, fucking not able to speak, not able to remember, having strokes, getting concussed. I mean, I don't like, who's going to run next? Seriously, who's going to run next? Because the left or right, if they got a guy that's fucking deaf, blind, and mute on the left or right, they'll fucking go out there and campaign for him. No, I know he can't see. He can't see. He doesn't know where he is. He's got full-blown dementia. He's got no arms, no legs. But I'll tell you something. He's on the ticket. That's our guy. He thinks he thinks he's a raccoon. He actually has something in his. He thinks he's been a raccoon since 1987. But he's on your side's ticket. You gotta go. I mean, you never know. He could bounce back. I mean, it's just so. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. What the fuck is the world coming to, everybody? I mean, it's just, it could be so simple. Is that a Wu-Tang song? Can it be that it was all so simple? I think so. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just know that I turn on the news and I just can't believe that this is what's going on. Fuck. I'm just waiting for Biden to come out and be like, a great state of Cancun. We're going to help the people of Cancun because they know. What? Fucking dude. Anyway. I hope everybody's all right. Don't worry about any midterm elections. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You did your part. If you voted, you did your part. You did what you could. You did what you believe. And that's it. That's it. All you could do is do what you believe, go with who you like, hope for the best, and hope for a better world for our children. Here's the good news. The good news about all of this nonsense. I don't know what's that. The good news about all of this nonsense going on in our world and in our country is I know now, at least, even with all the shit that I've been through and all the things that I've said, I can have a career in politics. That's the nicest part about this. The nicest part about this is I could have a career in politics. I could retire at 60? Hopefully I have fans that'll come out and vote for me. I could be 60, fall into that 5-year thing, be president from 61 to 65. Call it a career and go to the beach, kind Because then if they're like, Mr. Virzi, you said on a podcast once, say something horrible that you were arrested for you indecent exposure, pissing all over a college campus and throwing up and running through a hospital naked. Do you think you're suited for? And I'll be like, all right, guys, play Biden's last speech. Yeah, I think I'm suited. I think I'm just fine. Okay. What are you going to do? I got naked in the hospital. I threw up everywhere. I got hammered. I went to a fraternity party. Then I went to a dart tournament where we were funneling beers. And then I smoked weed at 3:00 in the morning. Thought we were going to go to Denny's or a diner. Tried to do that. I took a first bite. I threw up everywhere. I ended up at a hospital naked. I don't know what you want me to tell you, but I can tell you what, my speech was more coherent than this guy's. Next question. I meshed a couple of things in there, but yes, I was arrested for pissing. I'll tell you guys that story. I'll tell you guys this. You want to get into drunken stories on this Virzi Effect 557? I could do that. I was hammered at my buddy's college at Oneonta, and I had to pee so bad. And I was just drinking beers. And I went behind a car and, had to take a piss. So I start pissing behind a car. And guess who rolled up on a bicycle? A cop on a bike. And he goes, what are you pissing right there? I go, no, that's not me. He goes, yeah, how about I rub your fucking face in it? Because I think I was still holding my junk pissing and saying that's not me. I think that's how hammered I was. I'm like, that's not my piss. While pissing, it was you could hear it here in the pavement. And I go, that's not mine. And he goes, yeah, how about I rub your fucking face? So I got arrested for that. Why does this thing keep saying this now? What is this shit? Something went wrong during. Okay, fine. Let it go wrong. So I was arrested that time. And then what else? Yes, I might tell the story in the show. I was hammered at a college party. My friend broke his finger, went to the emergency room during a blizzard, snowing like crazy. He went in to get his finger wrapped. I was with another friend in the waiting room. I got stark naked. This is a true story. I will elaborate in a stand-up bit about this one day, but I got stark naked, all my clothes off, running down the hallway looking for my friend, and then I ran in and just started dancing when I got into the room. And I was like, who wants to dance? Went up to this nurse. So you want to dance? And they were like, dude. And I got arrested for that. Funny story in the courtroom when the judge read that. But yeah. So I've definitely had some things that would come up if I became a politician. Definitely had some things that, but I mean, the nice thing is, like I said, today you could just, that happened. Where's the podium? That happened. Oh man. What a world. What a world. And here's the best part about all kinds of stuff like this is everybody's Thanksgiving is here. So now we get to sit at the Thanksgiving table and we get to hope and pray that one of the relatives that is really passionate about the news and what's going on with politics, we got to pray that when we say, can you pass the mashed potatoes, as they pass it, they don't make a comment to then make your other relative who's on the other side of things say something. And then people start going, no, that's not true. That's not true. And then somebody goes, that's reasonable, goes, guys, we're not here for this. They go, no, but that's just not right. And then it ruins the dinner. So I hope everybody's excited for. By the way, can we talk about this for a second? Thanksgiving's overrated. Thanksgiving is overrated. It just is. It's not even close to Christmas. I don't want to hear that it's close to Christmas because it's not. Not even close. Not close to Christmas Eve. Not close to Christmas Day. It's just, look, here's how you know Thanksgiving is overrated. And I don't mean overrated about things you're thankful for. I'm very thankful. That's a very nice thing. But you know what, guys? I'm thankful for shit every day. I'm thankful for my life every fucking day. I'm thankful for my kids. Thankful for my kids' health. Thankful for all that. I go for a walk and I think about that all the time. I don't, fine. It's a nice day to give thanks. Great. Okay. But it's just, it's overrated because this is one of the reasons I was going to say is because when the football games that are on are part of the day, that's when you know. Okay. Christmas, you don't need a football game. A football game is a bonus with Christmas. Okay. Football game on Thanksgiving is part of it in my mind. If I don't see the Lions and Cowboys game and whoever they're playing, and that's not on during the day, something's wrong. Because then you're just sitting there twiddling your thumb, having a couple of drinks. You eat like an absolute pig. And by the way, I don't think that really, really fat people should be able to enjoy Thanksgiving dinner. Really, really fat people. Now, I'm not in the group, but actually, I'm not going to lie. I'm in actually pretty good shape now. I've lost a lot of weight, and I continue to lose weight. But I've slipped. We all have slipped. But I'm talking 450 plus. There should be some sort of, they shouldn't be able to eat like that. They've been eating like that all year. This is our time. This is normal sized people time to sit down and be a fucking glutton. You can't have some monster waddle through the kitchen, shaking the fucking foundation of the house, sitting down, and the chair is begging for dear life. Okay, that the legs don't snap. Because of that. That's how I look at it. You've been eating like that all year. It's our time now. Okay? Go sit in the corners. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. I'm tired. I'm coming off the medicine of this. I don't know. But I'm not the biggest, The other thing is this. Do you notice that Thanksgiving, people will be at your house that you don't always see a lot? People will be at your house. Oh, so-and-so is going to come this year. All right. No, but they're fine. They're going to be, I actually remember one year somebody said, oh, so-and-so is going to come, but don't worry, they'll be out of the way. What does that even mean? I don't want a holiday shouldn't be, oh yeah, someone's going to be able to stick them in a fucking closet for 2 hours. You won't even notice they're here. It's like, no, it's like, but Christmas is not. You're not coming to let me tell you something right now. You're not coming to my house Christmas or Christmas Eve if I don't love you. Period. If you're not somebody that I love, that my kids love, that I want you around my kids, fuck you, dude. Absolutely. That's how I feel about it. When Santa Claus is coming to town, I got to love you. It's got to be, the best wines and liquors come out for the big man. It's Christmas. It's Christmas, the songs, the whole thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shit on Thanksgiving, even though I did a little bit. Thanksgiving's nice. You sit down, you eat a lot of good food, you watch the football games, you have some family, but let's not get crazy with it. All right. Oh, no, you wake up, you watch the parade. The parade stinks. The balloons are always hitting buildings or sagging. It's way too early to get into it. Nobody, you know what I mean? So I don't care about the parade. And, quite frankly, I don't, what getting all these text messages and shit. I wanted to talk to you guys about my, I have to read this because this keeps coming in and I don't know what it is. So what does this say? Cool. Great games this week. All right. Great games this week. Okay. Never mind. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. I have a new tour coming out, guys. It's called the Level Up Tour. That's right. Taking shit to another level. And the Level Up Tour. Here are the cities that I'm coming to, and more is added, but this is the initial tour for basically the first quarter. All right. So if you live in these cities, get tickets, and some of them are going to sell out quick. So here we go. All right. Let me show you guys. Come on. All right. You ready? The Level Up Tour. If you look at my social media, that's what the poster looks like. It's actually pretty sick. I'm pretty excited about it. All right. So Fairfield, Connecticut, 2 shows. This is a small venue. I think 170, 160 people. I'm doing 2 shows. That is December 10th. 2 shows, Fairfield, Connecticut, in the hotel at the lobby. It's one of my favorite places to perform. I know it sounds nuts. If you're in that area, come out. If you are in that area, you've probably seen me there before. It's one of my favorites. Then I'm going up north, guys. I will be in Toronto doing the Royal Theater, January 28th. Okay. Then I'm New York City, February 2nd to 3rd. Pittsburgh, Valentine's Day, the 14th of February. Chicago, Illinois, March 2nd through 4th. Providence, Rhode Island, March 31st to April 1st. Salt Lake City, Utah, April 14th and 15th. Denver, Colorado, the next night, April 16th. Austin, Texas, April 28th and 29th. Tampa, Florida, June 15th to the 17th. And we are talking about other dates, more dates in Texas. We're talking about more West Coast stuff. But again, that's pretty much like the first quarter, getting into spring and the beginning of summer. Check those. It's the Level Up Tour. You can go to paulvirzi.com for all tickets. Now, out of those dates, there are 3 that are one night only. Okay. And 1 show only, which is the Royal Theater in Toronto, Ontario, Toronto, January 28th. That will sell out. Tickets are already going, and it's not until the end of January. I believe there's about 380 seats there. If you want to be in the building, I'm bringing a completely new hour. By the way, this whole tour, completely new hour from Nocturnal Admissions, which is on Netflix, which I have a big announcement about that coming soon. But so you're going to see a whole new hour on that tour. But there's 380 seats in Toronto. Come out there, but get your tickets soon. Also, Valentine's Day, Pittsburgh at the Improv. That's only 1 show. That's going to sell out. Bring your dates. It's a great date night. It's a great time to go out. I was in Jersey at the Stress Factory this week, and a ton of couples came to see me. So get your tickets if you want to have a great date night in Pittsburgh. One of my favorites, bringing Joe Bartnick, the Pittsburgh native, with me. Okay, we're going to have a great time. We're going to smoke cigars afterwards. Lord knows where we're going to end up at the end of that night. Hopefully it's not at Permani Brothers eating a fucking loaf of bread with cheese and shit stuffed in the middle of it. Or maybe, hopefully. Either way, get your tickets. That's another 1 show only. And then the next 1 show only is a place that I don't even know how I'm going to sell. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how I'm going to sell in Denver. I've never headlined in Denver. For some weird reason, I've never headlined in Denver. Colorado has just been just one of those states. Colorado and Virginia seem like the states where it's like, through my career, very, very little. But I will be headlining the Denver Comedy Works. Okay. 1 show only on the 16th of April. Get your tickets now. So those 3 are probably going to sell out. So if you're in that area or you know people in that area, push those tickets and push them early so they can, if they're a real fan. I want my real fans in the building, of course. I want the people that listen to the Virzi Effect, that listen to Anything Better, that like my stand-up, watched my specials. I want those people in the building because those are the people that are my fans. And all the other places, guys, you know how great they are. Rhode Island and Tampa, all of those. New York City at Gotham, February 2nd and 3rd. I mean, these are all places that are fantastic. So the Level Up Tour, you can go to paulvirzi.com and get all of your tickets. I'm really excited to show you guys the new stuff I'm working on. I feel like, this is kind of a different time for me where I'm just kind of saying what I feel. Stand-up has become, I've been doing it so long and I've had so much fun with it that I'm just kind of, like the shit I'm talking now on the podcast. So it's really, I'm enjoying telling the stories. I'm enjoying being out there. And most of all, I'm enjoying just the fans coming out. And, it's really, it's such a cool thing to go on your own tour and have your fans there and stuff. So if you're one of those, if you fall into that category, come out. And then we'll talk at the end. We're just going to talk politics. I'm going to turn it into a town hall meeting. We're going to get people standing up yelling. All these things too. It's like I was watching some shit like Ben Shapiro and like these clips that just come up. And like, I understand people want to get their point across, but like, you're never gonna, I guess what I don't understand about it is I wonder what the statistics are of somebody that changed somebody's mind. That would be a great show. Like to change somebody's, like, imagine if you were like a diehard fan of something and you and a rival had to like talk it out. Imagine if you could flip somebody, just name the show, Flip Them, get a Democrat, Republican, one person's got to flip the other. You get a Yankee fan, a Red Sox fan. Like, I just don't think it's ever going to be. So when these people talk about their points, even if somebody makes a good point, you're like, yes, I agree with that. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't. Always. Now, here's the real question, guys. Here's the real question. And I guess you could, I don't know where you could answer this if you want to write in, but if you had the choice, we'll go into a little bit of overtime here. I don't even know how long this shit's been going on for. Hope you guys are enjoying it. This is a Virzi Effect 557. Next week, I'll be back in studio in New York City with a hilarious guest. I cannot wait for you guys to check that one out as well. But you guys write in and say, Virzi, I like when you're alone. I like when you just talk your shit. I like when you go on your rants. So here I am. It's a back and forth thing. It is what it is. Share this with your friends. Let your friends, if they want to hear a fucking Sicilian Greek guy yelling into a camera and it passes their time, then, then put it on. But how about this? If things got so chaotic in not just our country, but in the world, if you found out that shit was just going in a way that maybe even not in your lifetime or not in your kid's lifetime or not in your grandkids' lifetime, but maybe after that, maybe your grandkids' kids are going to be in this weird, people getting robotic parts and more division and stuff. Would you be in a group, in one of the first groups, to get on a shuttle and go to a colonize another planet where they're trying to, if Elon Musk is like, listen, we found a planet, or we found this fucking star, whatever the fuck, wherever, the moon, whatever. We found where you could live, you could eat, there's water. We're going to send a group of people up with like 50 years worth of supplies and food. And then you'll figure out a way after 50 years to kind of, grow things and do shit. I'm just making a perfect scenario where life could live. Would you do it? But if they literally only sent up like 500 people, like there's just like you're in the group of the first 500. That'd be a great name for a new show called The First 500, where they take 500 people and we found a place where they can live and exist, and you can grow plants and you could build. They're just going to send shit up there. They're going to send wood and lumber. They're going to have it where 500 people. And I guess they'd have to all be single, right? Or like divorced or whatever. I don't know, because you got to grow, right? You'd have to start a thing. But if you fit into the category of that and you saw shit, would you go there being some of the first people to ever be the life on that thing if we figured out a way to survive? For me, I say no, and I only say no because there's no way the food's going to be good at least for 50 years to 100 years. You're going to be drinking water. Lord knows how what's going to grow up there. You're going to have to probably acquire new taste buds for the shit up there. I'm Italian and Greek, dude. If I don't have no diners up there, there's no coffee. I'm a coffee lover. I like iced coffee. Like, we got to figure that out. So I don't know, but there's got to be somebody right now listening to this that's like, fuck yeah, I would go and do it. I would go and do it. And here's the other thing. You got to, and I'm talking about, you're never coming back. This is it. This is a wrap. You are on another planet for real, forever. That's it. In another planet. Okay. You can have the woman in your life or the man in your life, the partner in your life, whoever decides to go there with you. So you could be sexually active with that person. You could still have the love with that person. You could still start a family with that person, all that. But as far as any friends, any family, any connection to this planet is completely just gone, would you do it? I got to talk to a lot of people about that. I don't know. I think I'm going to have Bobby Kelly on my show next week, and I'm going to talk to Bobby about this. And I could see Bobby going, dude, absolutely. Dude, I build a fucking cabin up there. Got my fucking guns. Fucking beautiful. Bobby, you can't bring my technology, dude. Yeah, fuck it. You know what, dude? I'm gonna be the first person up there. Gonna be barbecuing. I'll have a smoker up there. I could see Bobby Kelly saying he would go but I could see him only going like he'll have, this is my prediction. And I have not talked to him about this. I'm going to ask him on the show next week. But my prediction is, he's going to have conditions. Like, my wife, my kid, what are can she get pregnant up there, dude? But that's a question, man. And that's also a question, even if your whole family could go. Talk about resentment. I get mad if somebody, like, recommends a bad restaurant. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing? All of a sudden you're sitting, 5-month rocket ride away with no way back. Oh God. It reminds me of this joke I'm doing, just sending Italians to the moon with bad food. I can't keep giving away all these new jokes I'm doing. Anyway, this has been pretty, I know this has been a goofy pretty good, goofy podcast, guys. I don't know, but we're in a goofy times right now. Okay. I have this shit going on. It's not really fun at all. Giants won again, but you can't get excited. It's the Texans and they have the Lions, but I think the Giants are going to the playoffs. You don't want to play that defense. I'll get into that on the Anything Better podcast, which we're going to do and make our picks. What else? What else is going on? Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else really to talk about other than we talked about at the beginning, people's reaction to things, people divided, people trying to run things and make laws in the country when they're not really coherent. What else? I don't know what else. That's pretty much it for TVE. It's been nice. It's been nice to be back though. The funny thing about this is I'm talking to a camera and a microphone, but I could feel you guys listening to this. And I know what this episode is. Some of you are going to say this is a fucking hilarious episode, or some of you are going to say, Paul, you clearly needed rest. What the fuck are you talking about? And I'll take both, to be honest. I will take both. Take both this week. The holidays are here. The weather's getting colder. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the weather when it's warm and enjoy the weather when it's cold. Don't be the person to talk about the weather. Oh, it's 75 degrees, man. What does that mean? Is this fucking, oh, it's cold. What does that mean? You got, there it is. There it is. There it is right there. We just came full circle. You're getting both sides of just that you can't be talked to. I'll tell you why it's 75 degrees, because the fucking climate change, the earth is burning up. Guy who says, yeah, but I saw, but then what happened? Then the next day it was freezing. So what does that mean? It's not happening. And then they fight. Guess who's going to win there? Nobody. You know who wins? The alcohol distributors, because that's what you need to fucking get through a day with them. Boom. There you go. You're welcome. I'm going to listen back to this podcast because I think I got 2 jokes out of this. I think I got 2 jokes for the new hour out of this. So if you listen to episode 557 and you come to the Level Up tour, I don't know, you may hear something that was discussed here. Okay, sometimes you come across a gem just by talking shit. I think I got 2. You want to laugh? I think I forgot one of them. I forgot one of them. How bad are stitches in the mouth when they're like, you're going to have those stitches for 2 weeks? Those stitches are going to be in there for 2 weeks until you come for your follow-up visit and they take them out and you feel them getting loose already 4 days later. Like I'm going to have a fucking fishnet on the side of my cheek in about 40 hours. And I got to keep it there for weeks because you ever notice that? Is it part of my fault because I'm eating more than I should be and I'm chewing in the areas that I should be? Of course it is my fault. All right, guys, this has been the Virzi effect. Don't really know how to end this one. So I'll just say that I love you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you listening to my show. I hope you enjoy my show. I hope you come and see me in a city. And if you do come to see me on the Level Up tour in one of these cities, I hope you come up afterwards and say, hey, man, I listened to TVE, and let's shake hands and let's hug and let's take a picture. Okay. Don't come up to, don't come up. I was almost going to say, give me some time right after the show. Cause if I'm running around up there and if it's hot, I don't want to be gross. I'm usually not gross. I'm not one of those people that smell, I don't have BO. Where's this end of this show going? The ironic part is I talked about people's rambling and coherency, and then I'm just sitting here, just went from saying goodbye that I love you guys to that I don't have BO. No, I hope to see you at a show. This has been episode 557. One thing that I wanted to talk about on this week's episode is something that's close to me, close to my family. And it's unfortunate that it is close to me, but it's the diagnosis of my mom's cancer when I was younger, and medical treatments and everything have really helped my mom. The Dana-Farber Institute, I've talked about that before, but something came across my desk, if you will, so to speak, here at the Virzi Effect, and they were like, "Hey, would you read this and let your listeners know about this website?" And I said, absolutely. And the website is called cancercosts.com. That's cancercosts.com, cancercosts.com. And what it is it's an insurance. Okay. It's insurance for people that get diagnosed with cancer. It has nothing to do with your regular medical insurance. This is a separate thing that they will send you money for. Okay. So the financial impact of cancer can be tremendous on people. Cancer is a financial killer to a household. According to Johns Hopkins, bankruptcy rates are 2.5 times higher than those without a history of cancer. Most people are not even aware of this and think that health insurance is enough, but it's not. These bills pile up. Okay. Many people are not aware that cancer insurance even exists. It is just for cancer. Okay. So your regular medical will take care of some things, but bills pile up that cancer insurance can really help. All right. If you get a policy in this, first of all, you can get a policy for cancer insurance for anywhere from $40 to $60 a month without it being included in your job. If your job offers this, it could be as little as $10 out of your check a month. Okay. By the way, they're not a sponsor of the Virzi Effect. This is nothing like that. This came to me and I was like, wow, that can really help people. And me and my family have dealt with this. And I'm sure you guys know people. I know people that have had cancer, or they know somebody with cancer. So I just I'm literally relaying this message to you guys for you guys to check cancercosts.com. All right. They pay cash to the policyholder directly. All right. You can't get it if you had cancer. I think it's like a 5 years. So this is for people without cancer. Just help, having a backup if God forbid something happens. Okay. It has nothing to do with any of your insurance, your major medical insurance. You can use the money for anything that you want. You don't even have to have cancer to get paid. You could file a claim just for getting a yearly screening. So they'll help you get a yearly screening once a year, which everybody should get anyway, because early detection saves lives. All right. They pay out a lump sum upon getting diagnosed. Continues to pay for each treatment with no maximum, and children can be added at no cost. So if somebody buys this policy, God forbid they get diagnosed and they have this policy, they can add their family, they can add their children, and those people will be covered too if God forbid something like that disease happens. Okay. And like I said, some of the companies that you work for will do this, and they'll take as little as $10 out of your check, or it could be $40 to $60 a month, but it's so amazing to not have that burden. And when I heard about cancercost.com, I wanted to talk about it on the Virzi effect, because it's just seems like something that makes a whole lot of sense. And the nice thing is, it can be for, you could add people and just have people covered, because some people may think, oh, their regular insurance is going to take care of everything, and then bills start piling up. But this is a specific insurance for that horrible disease, which they're making strides in, and medicine has been so much better than in the past. But this is definitely something to consider if you or your loved ones have, if you have a history of it, if there's, if there's stuff that's I guess hereditary, all that stuff. I mean, I don't know too much about the science of all that, but I do know that this is something that can really help people with costs and bills of that terrible disease. And I just wanted to relay that message on TVE. Again, I'm getting $0 for this. This has nothing to do with my show. This is not a sponsor. It's just something that somebody told me about, somebody that I care about. And they were like, hey, man, you should read something like that. And I was like, absolutely. So just go to cancercosts.com, see the benefits of it, see what it can do, see how it can help you. And, and then you just make your decision that way. But, when you hear stories about bills piling up, anything that can help, especially with a devastating blow like that. So that's all I wanted to say. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out all my socials. That's at Paul Virzi, Virzi. All right. And I'll see you guys soon. I'll be in studio next week with Bobby Kelly. It's going to be a great show. So tune in for that. We're going to talk about, would you go to another planet? That's going to be hilarious with Bobby. You know it is. Until next time, I am out of here. I love you guys. Be well.